and they stay there, and they say yeah, and they say there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there.
YouTube, what's up? This is Logan Oren, better known as the Troll for Truth. I've watched a lot of videos and read comments. I've seen people post and make comments both on my videos and other people's. They say, why don't we just keep it about football or football gaming, or can't we just keep it about sim? Today I want to discuss this topic, and I want to talk about why it can't just be about football gaming or sim anymore. And I'm going to cover 8 points on why this is the case. And I'm going to try to go through each one. I'm going to try to go through it quickly, and if I need to make a part 2, then I'll do it, but hopefully I'll be able to cover this relatively quickly. But within the community, there's a lot of adults in the community. Now there are some young people too, but for the most part, we're talking about grown adults, grown men, and maybe there's some women out there, I don't know, but the majority of the people that are in the community are adults. And when you start getting into dealing with adults, you have to start assuming that logic is going to kind of play a factor in there somewhere. You know, and it's not just an issue with grown men, because I've seen some younger kids, 12, young teenage, 12, 13. I've seen some of them say the same things. But all the big thing is that dealing with adults, logic has got to come into play. That being said, let's talk about reason number one why it can't just be about football gaming or sim anymore. The first reason is that there's only one company or developer making football games. And I don't want to even use the word or use the name of this company anymore. So from now on, I'm going to refer to them as that company. Because to me, they don't deserve that satisfaction. They are that company. There's only one company making football games. We don't have an option to go to another developer or another title to be able to compare, make informed decisions, based off of our comparisons. So because there's only one company, there's one developer, that automatically takes away our ability to make choices. And when you're an adult, you like to be able to make choices. And so taking that away, it doesn't really sit too well. People are going to have a problem with that. Number 2, that one company that makes the only game in town has a history of making changes or improvements in their own timetable. Now, I shouldn't even have to expound on why that's even an issue. But the majority of the people who are within the community, they don't have time to wait anymore. And they've waited for a long time. And it's not an issue, I think, with many people about being patient. I think it's an issue about the timetable and the lies and the deception that we've had to endure for so long. If we look at the history of their timetable, we leave from first generation going into the next the promises that were made of the quality of game that we were going to get going into the 360 PlayStation 3 generation. And we find out that that's not what we were supposed to that's not what we were getting. And we waited, we gave them time, and it still didn't come. And so when people started to make some noises about it, then they started to pay the community some service, some lip service. And they gave a timetable. And within that timetable that they gave, there wasn't the proper changes or improvements made in the game. So they swap out the development team. And what do? They give a new timetable. And we can see that after at the timetable that they've given us, then they still don't have the quality of the product to where it needs to be or where we want it. What do they tell us? Wait till next gen. It's come from the developers, and it's come from some people in the community, the sympathizers of this company. So just looking at that history of their timetable, we cannot ignore that over just keeping it about football gaming or simulation. Number 3, the community is kept completely in the dark about the recommendations or criticisms that are made to the company. And with Madden being the only game in town, people don't have time to be sitting there wasting, hoping that the company finally gets it right. Absolutely no one really knows what's going on at all. And so we know that supposedly that there are certain people that have this direct line to the developers who people are sending them videos and they're sending them comments and suggestions to send to the developers, but we don't ever hear what they are. Those people who we in the community that we look towards, we're told that they're getting these suggestions, but we don't really know what they are. We don't know what the developers are being told about what the community wants. Now we know that some of you guys are going to Community Day every year, and supposedly you're taking those, you're taking some, some suggestions and videos along with you to give to the developers. But we have no clue what's being taken to them. And frankly, with Community Day, what do we, I don't know what to say. Now, I have a lot of respect for Ryan Moody. I do have a lot of respect for him, a great deal of respect, and I respect his work and the impact that he's made in this community. And I'm not trying to diss him, but it feels like every time someone goes to Community Day, they come back tight-lipped, like Johnny Tight-Lips.
Johnny Tight-Lips, where'd they hit you?
I ain't saying nothing.
Well, what do I tell the doctor?
Tell him to suck a lemon.
And I feel like this is the worst time or the worst incident because, Ryan came back tight-lipped and sympathetic. But he also came back with DLC. It's good that he's able to have that connection with the developers and to be able to, I guess, be a part of whatever these people do. And what I'm talking about is in his video, he he says that he will be sending videos to the developers, but will he be posting these videos to us? No, he won't. And he said that he wouldn't because he was going to be using NFL Rewind clips to compare to the suggestions that the breakdowns that he's giving and sending to them. And so because of copyright infringement, then he can't post those videos to us. And then he proceeds to tell us that there's a link in the bottom where we can click on to get 10% off of NFL Rewind. This is the first time that anyone has ever come back trying to sell something to go along with their videos. I don't even understand how going to Community Day helps the community. Because when you all get back, the only thing that you all really tell us is that they're trying, or that they're listening, and that they're passionate about making a sim game. That's the only thing that we really get out of you guys going to Community Day, as far as when it comes back to the community. So we are led to believe that all of you take these concerns of the community as well as the videos and you send them to the developers. Meanwhile, the community has no idea what information is sent to them. So we can't take the finished product, which is the game, and compare it to the list of concerns and evaluate that company's response to fixing our concerns. We can't take we can't look at the suggestions and the things that are sent to them and hold up a list right in front of us while we're playing the game, and we can't say, all right, we see that they did not make an effort on this because it's still in the game. Next thing, that's still a problem in the game. Next thing, I don't see this, so this has been fixed. We can't do that. We can't properly evaluate what you guys have gone to do with the developers. So how do we even know that you're even sending anything to the developers anyway? Ryan Moody, if you wanted to fix that, you can easily make a copy of the video that you send to the breakdown that you send to the developers and just leave out the NFL clips and just explain it. At that point, we at least know what you're talking about. We at least know what you have sent to the developers. And a lot of us, even though there are a lot of people that are angry at you, a lot of people still have respect for you. And you have the opportunity to not do what the other group did and completely tighten those lips and keep us informed.
Johnny Tightlips, can you see the shooter?
I see a lot of things.
You could be a little more helpful.
I know they told us that they can't tell us what this company tells you all, but at no point in time have we ever been told that you can't tell us what you tell that company. We cannot be kept in the dark. People do not like to be kept in the dark. And as long as you do that, we cannot ignore that over just keeping it about football and keeping it about simulation. So I'm running a little over than what I expected to, so I'm going to end part 1 right here. So tomorrow we're going to try to pick up for part 2. This is Logan Oren, aka the Troll for Truth, because the truth should mean something.